Okay, guys, this is episode 38 of What's Not Sports. You can probably hear from the tone of my voice, at least, that I'm not too happy. I filmed an hour-long episode, well, maybe 45 minutes long episode, and after uploading it, I discovered that my audio file was corrupt. So fingers crossed that this one will work. I did talk a lot about a lot of things. I think I'm gonna have to try and speed run this a little bit. I just don't know if I can put out another 45-minute episode tonight. It is Wednesday night. It was a good episode as well. But yeah, this is a pulse check. We've got a lot to cover. Had a huge round. We're gonna kick it off, talk about AFL, then gonna dive into our NRLW, our NRL, and then we're gonna finish off with some clubby stuff. We got a bit of content in the surf life saving realm to cover. This is What's Not Sports. I'm your host, Will O'Connor. Before I dive in, I do just want to talk a little bit about what is happening with the podcast at the moment. If you check my socials, you might have seen that we have created a website. Now, on the website, you will find the homepage, which contains all my socials, podcast episodes, things like that. Takes you to YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, TikTok, all those things. So really cool. From there, you'll also see our About Us page. It's all still under construction, the website. So I got to get a few more photos in of me other than stock images. But that's fine. Like, that is what it is. I won't complain too much about that. There's also a contact us page. So if you're someone that's listening to the podcast, you're an athlete, you know an athlete, or you have a business or something, you just want to get involved with the podcast, that way is the best way to contact me now. There'll be like a little submission form. I'll get an email from that, and then I can get in contact with you. Please leave your phone number if you do want to jump on. There's a few more things coming to the pod as we grow a bit more. We've rebranded, as you've seen. More things to come with the rebrand, so please stay tuned for that. Also, you'll notice that there is a shop page on the website that's hinting at something coming soon. I'll dive into that on a later date. So really exciting. But right now, let's jump into the AFL and what we've had at the moment. So we just had the conclusion of the AFL prelims. Friday night, we had Geelong Cats play the Hawthorn Hawks. Obviously, tipped the Hawks there. If you listened last week, not too lucky there. For me, it was a great first half by both teams. Hawks really stuck it to Geelong. Second half, Geelong just decided to cook, and they were insane. Obviously, securing the first spot into the grand final. So that's tip one wrong there. Tip two, we had Collingwood versus Brisbane. Prelim number two, I should say. I had Brisbane tipped, so I got that one right. Brisbane did beat Collingwood quite convincingly. I think it was by 30 points, 30 or 40 points. I'm very happy with that. I'm now on the Brisbane Lions bandwagon. They make the grand final for 2 years in a row. So they make, 3 years in a row, I should say. Potentially being able to go back to back now. So very, very exciting. Quick little Coke, no sugar drinks break, by the way. Sorry. But so yeah, that was the second prelim. So our grand final is set for this Saturday afternoon, and it's Geelong versus Brisbane. Before I dive into the grand final, let's quickly run over the Brownlow and the results from that. So I'll start with the different awards and finish with the Brownlow medal and talk about that. So our Rising Star Award goes to Murphy Reid from Fremantle. The Community Leadership Award goes to Harris Andrews from Brisbane. Mark of the Year goes to Sam Darcy from the Doggies, the Bulldogs, and the Goal of the Year goes to Noah Anderson from the Gold Coast Suns. That was in the game against Collingwood. I was there at that game. It was a pretty spectacular goal. Yeah, it was really awesome, and I do remember it. Now, onto the Brownlow medal. Gold Coast Suns fans, very happy you would be. Matt Rowell got the win there with the Brownlow. Now, Matt Rowell, there were a few doubters, quite a few Victorian biased supporters, I'd say, that aren't happy with the pick. They obviously just don't understand AFL. Let's run through some of Matt Rowell's stats while we're here talking about the Brownlow medal. So here we go. Matt Rowell was first in clearances, first in pressure attacks, second in tackles, third in contested possessions, fifth in score involvements, fifth in ground ball gets. Also, some additional notes. He was 7th best in Super Coach and 10th best in AFL Fantasy. I think that is definitely someone you should and is worthy of getting the Brownlow medal. I do claim I don't know enough about AFL to comment, but from those stats, I can definitely see that he is deserving. So if you're Victoria biased, just cry about it somewhere else, just not around me. Right, grand final time. We are now in the thick of it, and everybody knows. It's Cats versus Brisbane. Brizzy had to do it the long way. They lost the first round of finals. They had to go through elimination round. They've done it the hard way. They're here. They've got momentum now. And so I think momentum is a very powerful thing compared to resting. I think the Cats, if they want to win, they need to really nail down on their first half because they're allowing teams to come in and bully them a little bit in that first half. Brisbane will take advantage of that, but if Brisbane take advantage of that, they need to make sure that they're there to back up their second half to be just as good. Who wins it? I think Brizzy wins it this year. They go back to back. It's going to be 22 plus points, and the Norm Smith medalist will be Will Ashcroft. That's my prediction for it. If you like it, let me know. If you hate it, let me know. But probably won't say much about that. Let's move on onto the NRL and NRLW. We'll start first with the NRLW. Now, we had our quarterfinals in the NRLW or whatever the elimination finals because they're not a top 8. They've only got top 6. So first and second on the ladder got a week off. Third and sixth, fourth and fifth all played each other. It was the Knights versus Titans and the Cowboys versus Sharks. I had the Titans and Sharks back. Game 1, we had Knights versus Titans. Titans lost to the Knights. Knights have been a good team, good solid team all year. Not quite to the caliber or prowess of the Roosters and the Broncos, but nonetheless, they got the win there. The Titans couldn't cause the upset, but the Sharks did get the win over the Cowboys. Or Cowgirls. I think we should call them the Cowgirls because they're not boys. They are women. So, but we'll get to that on a later date. Yeah, the Sharkies did get the win over there, so I got a tip right. They move on to the preliminary finals. Let's have a look at the prelims. Kick it off. We got the Roosters versus Sharks and the Broncos versus Knights. Roosters versus Sharks. The Roosters are going to win. No bias. They have had an undefeated season. They haven't lost a game this whole season. It's an impossible task for the Sharks to do it. I don't think they can. The Roosters girls, they're just too good. And if you don't think so, you're wrong. You're just blatantly wrong. And that's it. And the Broncos versus Knight, really similar. The Broncos have only lost one game, and that was to the Roosters. Now, they will win this game as well. They're only, one win off the ladder of getting minor premiership. That's how close the race was. And the only the reason they didn't win is because the Roosters beat them. Anyway, they were so far apart from the rest of the field, it's not even funny. It's a guaranteed Roosters-Broncos finals. They are just two powerhouses. And when you give two powerhouses with momentum a week off, they're going to steamroll next week. Absolutely steamroll. And honestly, they just can't. They're coming off a rest. They're not losing. So, yeah, I'm back in the Roosters and Bronx for the NRLW Grand Final. Now, I'm sorry I'm rushing this a little bit. I'm just devastated, to be honest. Like, I spent a long time on this podcast. As a lot of you know, I put in a lot of time and effort for you, the fans, for myself. And to have it just scrapped like that, it just hurt just a slight bit. Just only a slight bit. Let's run it. We have the NRL. We're going to recap the elimination finals. I'm probably going to cry during this. It was the downfall of the Raiders. I didn't get any tips right. I tipped the Raiders because minor Premier has been the best team the whole season. Yeah, who wouldn't pick them? They got robbed last week. They'll bounce back from that. Oh, well. And then the Bulldogs versus Panthers. Toby Sexton, if he's named at 7, the Bulldogs don't lose here. Well, they lost. So, I don't know what to say. Why? It's just, we'll get to it in a second. But Panthers, I don't like it. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, Raiders versus Sharks. The Raiders got absolutely steamrolled. The Sharks played a really good game. Nico Hines absolutely cooked up for the Sharks. He was like playing like prime Nathan Cleary right there. Don't know where it had come from. I'm not going to lie. Nico hasn't been at his best performance we've seen this season. He's probably been average for his standards. And we all know what he's capable of. And man, on Saturday night, he proved why he's so good and why he's the man for the Sharks. Can he do it again, or did he just want to kick a man while it was down, like as in being the Raiders after they got robbed the week before? As a Raiders fan, definitely disappointed. Thought we were going to go all the way. The curse is still alive. Those who know. Ashley Klein made sure of that last week, and then just the Raiders not, I think, being such a young side, not having much finals experience, they struggled not just physically to recover from a game that lasted 94 minutes last week, but mentally after they would be going, we probably should have won that one. How did we do? How did we lose it? Like all these things. You probably go, it's a they wouldn't have let go of that in all honesty. As much as Ricky said they moved on, he's not worried about it. They wouldn't have let go. And that really plays on, and they just being focused on that plays a big part, just not being there for this game. The disappointment would have been through the roof. So yeah, to say nonetheless, they did have an excellent season, but yeah, Sharkies beat them. They're now in the prelim. Congratulations, Sharkies! You have a tough, you've got a tough battle ahead of you. Now let's jump into the Bulldogs Panthers. As I just said earlier, I said last week on the pod, Sexton at 7, they win. If they name him, he was named at 7, they didn't win. Panthers steamrolled him. So it was a bit like, I'll be honest, unlike that, the Raiders Sharks game was good for 35 minutes. Then it became a bit of a blowout where this game was just Panthers domination from the get-go. I don't know what else to say from that. One thing I really do want to note on this that I thought was really interesting, and it could have gone really wrong for the Panthers, potentially switching up the momentum. If you watch the Lockie Galvin try and go back a little bit, he passes it, assists with the line break, and he's following through. Could have been Preston maybe. He passes back onto the inside to Galvin. Galvin goes through and scores the try. But you rewind just before he gets the ball. There's a man chasing Galvin, and it's Isaiah Yeo, one of the forwards, and he actually dives to ankle tap Lockie Galvin. When he was doing that, he did make contact with Lockie Galvin's boot. If he was successful in that ankle tap, it would have actually happened before Lockie Galvin got the ball. If you watch the video, and it's on the KO Instagram, I don't know if I will be able to, but I think it's worth going to have a look. He literally dives forward and hits Lockie Galvin's ankles, if Lockie Galvin goes down, I believe that'll be a penalty try. Not only that, Isaiah Yo's off for 10 minutes, and that could completely swing the momentum of the game. I'm just saying, I'm not saying it should have been, but I'm just saying if that did happen, that's what would have happened or should have happened, potentially changing the game. Just watch it. You'll see what I mean. On another note, I do just want to note that probably the downfall of the Bulldogs, I'm not trying to bag Lockie Galvin here. I don't love the guy, but he is a good footy player, good prospector. I do talk about the Galvin effect. And look, I don't think the Galvin effect is so much on Lockie Galvin. It's everyone around him. Like, for example, when he was at, I really hope that didn't stuff up my audio. When he was at the Tigers, it wasn't going horribly for him. And then he wasn't happy with Benji. He wanted to leave and all that. And then that all started to go downhill. And then he left and they started actually playing better footy. Where when he came to the Bulldogs, they were looking like they were going to be minor premiers for almost half the season. They then ripped apart their what looked like to be a premiership winning spine, and they chucked in Lockie Galvin, dropped Sexton, dropped Marnie. It just didn't make sense, and it really didn't work for them, and it caused them a lot of troubles. I really think the Bulldogs got too much caught up in looking towards their future, which is fair enough, but this year they could have been much more of a threat if they kept their spine and just, yeah, that's my opinion on it. Right, before we go and talk about the prelim finals in the NRL, let's quickly have a chat about what's made the news in the last 24 hours, really. So this morning I got up and I saw, about midday, I'll pull it up right now. It was about Tino Fa'asuamaleaui. I really hope I got him. Fa'asuamaleaui? Tino Fa'asuamaleaui. He has confirmed that he will continue to represent Australia at least for the Ashes series this year. So that's really exciting. Let me read out the quotes to you. And this is why he's staying. So if you don't know, there was a lot of things that maybe he potentially would be going to Samoa and representing them instead of Australia. That is no longer happening. Let me have a drink and I'll tell you. Okay. This is a direct quote from Tino. The reason I'm sticking with Australia is I feel like I have unfinished business. The last time I wore the green and gold was getting flogged by the Kiwis. It doesn't sit with me. It doesn't sit well with me, sorry. I want to give the Aussies the best chance of winning the Ashes and do the green and gold proud. And then this is really what made the conflict hard for him, picking between Australia and Samoa. My daughters wanted me to represent Samoa. That is what made the decision hard. I'm very proud of my Samoan culture, my last name, and all my family back in Samoa. I'm still representing them every time I run out. Who I am doesn't change just because of the jersey I wear. I think that's really heartwarming and really, really good job to Tino. That's just something special. He obviously does love Australia enough to go, no, I still want to represent them, even though his family's going, please represent Samoa. And I don't think that's a disrespect to them, but that's more of a thing for Tino and a personal thing. I think if we win the Ashes, we will see Tino hang up the green and gold and go to Samoa, which is fair enough. But it would just, I'd love having him play for Australia nonetheless. In other news, this broke my heart a little bit because I love the guy. I love him a lot, and I love what he's doing for league. Mark Nwanga'ita is heading back to rugby union at the end of 2026. A lot of us speculated that it might happen. Rugby Australia really wanted to get him back for the World Cup. He has said that it is his dream to play for Australia in a World Cup at home, but I don't think the end of 26 will be the end of Marky Mark in the NRL. I think Nwanga will come back after the World Cup. Fair enough. It gives Union a lot of publicity about the whole conversation for the next 12 months. Oh, Nwanga is coming back to Union, but I don't think it's that bad of a thing. Not too much of a shock, in all honesty, but we'll have him for another year. And then potentially, I hope getting him back because he's just a spectacle to watch. I still hope. It has brought up the argument, do they pick him now as a Wallaby in the Wallabies campaign? I hope they do. I think he deserves it, and I don't think the fact that he's going back to Union should change that, especially it's not like he's going back to Union tomorrow. He's actually not going back until the end of 2026. So don't take it away from the man. And let play on. Like, he'll be back. Like, Union won't hold him forever. He grew up playing Union. Well, he grew up playing league and then made the switch to Union, and then he came back to league to play professionally. He'll be back for league. Like, the lights are too bright to not want to come back. Anyway, that's my thoughts on that. Let's jump into the NRL prelims. Chahoo! Prelim 1. We're in Melbourne on Friday night. It's the Storm versus Sharks. Big news. Sharks fans, unfortunately, due to his concussion, Hazelton will be out this weekend and is replaced by Carfusi for that HIA injury there. Big news for the Storm. Ryan Pappenhausen and Jerome Hughes are both named in the squad. They're back playing, and Pezzett has been dropped all the way out of the squad, out of 18-man, which is, I like him, young player, young talent, 22 years old. Rumours of him Canberra getting interest in him. Who knows what happens with there. But that's that. That's what's big for that game. I'm back in Storm here. I don't see the Sharks getting a win over such a professional team, a team that has so much experience in finals in Melbourne. I just think it's too much head noise for the Sharks. We'll see what happens. We'll let the footy play on Friday. But look, I don't even care. The Raiders aren't playing. I don't care. I don't want anyone to win. Nah, just kidding. But yeah. Then we got Broncos versus Panthers. And I hate this. Big news. Well, not so big news for the Panthers. Their team remains unchanged. If it's not broke, don't fix. If it ain't broke, why fix it? Like, if done, they fixing. It's all good. So that's their philosophy. And man, I'd be scared if I'm a Broncos fan. Reynolds and man make their return back for the Broncos. That's the biggest news there. Adam Reynolds playing at 7, playing at the halfback position. Ben Hunt pushed to 6, playing at 5'8". So we got a mix up of our 6 and 7s. So our 6 will be so that's 6-7 pairing of Hunt and Reynolds. I'm really interested to see what happens there. Ezra Mam named as 14, so he'll come off the bench. I don't know what's going to happen there. Do we see him play hooker? Do we see him going to half back, and Hunt comes off, and is it Pags playing? Sorry, I really should have done this earlier. Do we see Hunt then going? Yeah, do we see Reynolds? Sorry, Reynolds stay at 7. Do we see Ezra Mam come in to 6 and Hunt go to the bench, or Hunt go to hooker and Pags come to the bench, or do we see something completely different and we go, okay, Hunt, Mam comes on at 6, Reynolds comes off, and Ben Hunt moves to 7? I'm actually not sure what's going to happen there. Like, that's really interesting. I'd probably say the one most likely is it really depends on how the state of the game's going. If they want to play more conservative, they'll probably either take Hunt off or put him at hooker and take Pakes off and let Ezra Mann play at 6 and Reynolds at 7. If they want that more flowing Reece Walsh play, that more free flowing and let Reece get his hands on the ball early, I'd be saying they'd push Hunt to 7 and bring on Mann at 6. That's going to be really interesting to see, though. Yeah. But the Panthers, far out. It's just looking too good for him. It's going to be a fair. I can just see it happening. It's setting up too good for him. Like if this is any other game where that's happened prior in the season before last week, where before the Raiders Broncos game, I'd be picking the Broncos, just like, oh nah, Penrith can't do it. But after watching Penrith tune up the doggies, them just being on such a good roll, and the fact that I'm not a fan of the Broncos after that game, like, it's like I want to pick the Broncos in the fact that they've got Queensland players that I do like, but I'm still not happy with that game and not happy with them. And then I'm going Penrith are just looking so primed. I think the script has been written, the sun has set, and the seeds have been sown. Penrith will go all the way. Well, will win this game at least and go for make their 6th grand final in a row and potentially get 5. Be the first team that's outside of the top 6 to get it. I think the last time a team outside the top 4 would have been the Broncos or Bulldogs in the 90s, but I believe that was before the comp had 16 teams and they only had a top 6 and was before the structure of a top 8. So I don't think since they've brought in the top 8, there has been a team that's won outside the top 8, and to finish 8th and to win it, I think their smartest play was to not worry about going all in and trying to get a top 4 spot. It was, no, we're going to ride back. We're locked into finals. We're going to sit here in 8th. We're going to rest. We're going to get our players right. We're going to do everything. We don't care if we're going to do the hard way. We're a winning team, and we will prove that we can win. So that's why I'm picking Panthers. I made my mind up. Right, that's the prelims. Let's go. New segment alert, Clubby Chats. Welcome to the Surf Life Saving part of the podcast. We have had a lot of, clubby stuff to cover. We just had the Iron Series trials. So now, as of now, our full field is set for the 25-26 Straw and Partners Iron Series. Really exciting. Round 1's Coolangatta Gold in 2 weeks. That'll be a fantastic event. Always is. If you didn't know, there's a Coolangatta movie coming out. I'm really excited to be there to watch it. When it comes out, I urge you. It's only out for 1 weekend, so I urge you all to come and watch it. Right. Let's talk about trials. Didn't disappoint. It was awesome. I only watched the live stream on Sunday due to being away. I would have liked to be down there if I could have, but I couldn't, so I don't mind missing it. But I got to watch it on Sunday, and it looked awesome. Quite a few, high-named athletes missing out. Tanner Linden out due to injury. Jai Timpley, I thought the shrimp would be back, but apparently didn't have the best race on Saturday afternoon. I would have loved to be down there and see what was going on, see what was going through people's heads, things like that. And then a few athletes flying under the radar who I wouldn't have even thought about picking to be in the top 15. Like, I know I did 10 athletes last year that I thought I would make the series. I probably only got 50% right in the blokes, if that. Maybe a bit more in the girls, if that. But there was a few under the radar that I just didn't even think of mentioning. And I'll go over that in a second. But let's read out our full list of 28 athletes in the men's of the Iron Series. So, if you're unfamiliar to the Iron Series, there is 4 different color rashes. You've got your yellow. Your yellow is the person who won the Iron Series last week. Well, not last week, last season. You then got your green. Your green had high enough points or did what they had to do to re-qualify for the next season. So they auto-qualified from last season because they made the last day of racing, and they were in that top 12. So that's first, well, excluding first, that's 11 other athletes. So there's 12 auto re-qualifiers from the season, the past season. You then got the man in red, man or woman in red. And that is the next gen athlete. The next gen athlete comes from they had their own season of under 19 races over 3 days. The winner from that then got to qualify for this season, and they wear the red. And then last but not least, it's the pink. It's the 15 blokes and women that had to go around the field on the weekend, had to do 6 races, and had to come in the top 15. Well, either come in the top 5 of the first race or top 10 overall from the last day of racing, and do it the hard way. So there it is. That's how the 28 athletes work and what the colors mean. So let's jump into the men's. Let's quickly run through who we've got, and then we'll talk about who flew under my radar. Let's go. In yellow, the winner from last season, Connor Maggs, number 1. And then in order, we got our auto re-qualifiers, the men in green. Joel Piper, Zach Morris, Matt Bevilacqua. Sorry, I should really read this properly. Let's restart. I'm going to say their clubs' names as well. So, obviously, Connor Maggs made the move from Newport. He's now at Mermaid Beach. So, Connor Maggs from Mermaid. Joel Piper, Burleigh Heads. Zachy Morris, Northcliffe, Matt Bevilacqua, Northcliffe, Finn Askew and Ali Day. Surface Paradise, Corey Taylor, Northcliffe, Ethan Callahan, Burleigh, Callum Brennan, Currumbin, Riley Harland and Joe Collins, Northcliffe, and Braden Casamento, Alex Head. So those are your green qualifier. Green Rashi's now into red. Byron Diekman from Maroochydore. He's the next gen winner. He's number 13. And now let's jump into our pink guys who had to qualify from the trials. Odin Parrish from Burleigh, Noah Steiner Wanda, Jackson Borg Newport, Charlie Verco Newport, Sean Riley Burleigh, Henry Simpson Alex, Nathan J Burleigh, Kai Harlan Northcliffe, Corey Fletcher Burleigh, Daniel Collins Redhead, Tex Dixon Burleigh, Kai Taylor Burleigh, Max Beatty Surface, Cooper Williams Alex, and Campbell Asher Alex. Right. The big one in the men's, I just want to say that flew under my radar completely. Campbell Asher had a great weekend out. He got very lucky in the last race. He almost, a few things went right his way just to scrape into qualifying. He was looking good the whole time. But yeah, Campbell Asher works hard at Alex. No, I know one of his mates quite well, and he has a lot of praise for him and how he works so much harder, works so hard to do it. So congratulations to him. Another mention, I just want to mention out Nath J. About the time he made the series, he got real unlucky last year at the series. I remember watching him win his first race, looking really strong. Then in his second race at the trials on day 1, his ski rudder cable snapped and he didn't even have enough points to qualify for the Saturday afternoon, let alone the Sunday. So he missed out there. So those are probably the biggest one I want to call out. Oh, Noah Steiner. Like, he's someone that I wouldn't say it's overdue to get a series, but kind of is. He got injured last season and really took him out for the majority of it, but now he's back. He's firing. He looks so good. He's going to be one to watch out this season in both the professional series and the World Ocean Series. So those are the ones I really want to shout out. Let's jump into the girls. I'll do the same. It is in order from the winner last year. I'll say their clubs all the way down to the trials. So first, in the yellow, we got Lucy Derbyshire, and then the women in green, we got Lucy Derbyshire from Surface Paradise. Sorry, I didn't mention that. In the green, we got Tiani Massey from Maroochydore, Lizzie Wellborn, Newport, Electra Outram, Sunshine Beach, Emma Woods, Alex, Olivia Corrin, and Naomi Scott, Northcliffe, Annalise Kibble, the AK-47, she's from Newport, Lana Rogers, Northcliffe, Carla Patback, Burley, Jazzy Raywood, Burley, and Mia Cook, Alex. Sorry. And then our next gen qualifier in the red is Olivia Clues from Newport. So those are all the guys that qualified from last season. And now let's run from the people in the trials. Charlotte Hart, Burley Heads, Leo Sullivan, Burley Heads, Piper Harrison Newport, Bianca Raywood, Burley Heads, Dom Stitt, Malula Bar, Taylor Halliday, Alex really come back for this one. We'll talk about that in a second. Cara Bender, Northcliffe, Belle Williams, Burley, and then Emily Doyle, Gemma Smith-Welsh, Hannah Scully, Claudia Kelly, all from Northcliffe. Then we got Chelsea Wood from Burley, Bibi Tapania, Newport, and to finish off, Dakota Luke from Burley. Wow, a lot of Burley and a lot of Northcliffe, and then Newport there obviously as well, and a few Alex. Geez, that's talent. I will talk. Who went under the radar for me? A lot of them from Burley, and so from Burley, Charlotte Hart. I'd say Chelsea Wood and Dakota Luke. They were all under the radar for me. I was quite surprised to see him, especially Charlotte Hart. She went out and won the first race on the Sunday, which she didn't have to race the second two races. She came that top 5, obviously winning it, and got straight through to the series. Like, absolute incredible job. I just, wasn't even on my radar. I probably should have asked around the guys at Burley who's looking red hot for the trials. Would have had the insight view there. Chelsea Wood, Dakota Luke, really good on the craft. Obviously working really hard with Michael King to improve their irons, and it's paid off in dividends qualifying for the series. Now I really want to shout out Taylor Halliday. She's had about maybe a year or two off full-time racing and the professional series. Well, she's back and she is firing, ready to go. She won the trials. So the first 5 of the trials, they just auto-qualified, and then they go off points for the next 20 athletes, and then the top 10 from the next 20 qualify, and that makes up the 15 from the trials. Taylor Halliday getting, winning based off the point system, winning the trials. Watch out for her. She will be firing, ready to go. So stay tuned. We'll talk more Iron Series next in the coming weeks, especially with the build-up to the Coolangatta Gold. Now, in other clubbing news, we have the kickoff of the World Ocean Series. Really love, I love Clubbies. We kick it off, the launch at Burley Heads Surf Life Saving. Burley Heads Mowbray Park, I should say. It's a 5,000-point event. On the Friday morning, we've got the juniors racing, so 11s to 14s. And then starting in the afternoon, it's open iron heats for the Iron Men and Iron Women. And then we kick on to Saturday and run through individual events, some team events. And then at 12 o'clock, we've obviously got the finals package for the individual events and the 6-person mixed taplin. We're going to speed run this. I'm going to say my top 3 for each event and what club they're from. So let's kick it off, dive straight into it. Open board. Open men's board. 3rd place, Odin Parrish, Burley. 2nd place, Adam Palmer, Maroochydore. And 1st place, Corey Fletcher from Burley. By the way, these are all the people that have been registered as of this morning when I made up my list and did the first podcast. I haven't checked again to see if anyone else is. I'm going to have a quick sneaky look right now because I just want to see if we have a couple champions in there, because I don't know if we do. As of this morning, we didn't, but it could have changed. Okay, no, hasn't changed from what I saw this morning. That's all right. Yeah. Open women's board. I got 3rd place, Brodie Trinker Southport, former Australian board champion. 2nd place, Lily O'Sullivan. Not much to say there. She won Worlds on the board last year. And then she's from Burley. And then 1st place, I think, Tiani Massey from Maroochydore. Open men's swim, Ethan Callahan, Burley in 3rd place. He's really finding his mark in the Opens. Hasn't even been there for a pure season of Opens. He only just finished under 19s last season. Zachy Morris, second place from Northcliffe. Third place, another Burley boy, James Koch. We've seen him do it before. A deadly swimmer. Watch out for him. The women's, I train with her. I bet her is Fenella Gibbsville. I'm backing her. Maybe it's a little bit of a longer swim course. Who knows? But bit of luck. I think she can come third. Second place, I'm going to back Lily O again. Lily O'Sullivan, Burley Heads. She also won the World Surf Race. And then I think it's, clubmate Claudia Rose Slavin that gets a win on her home beach at Burley as well. Into the ski in the men's, third place, Corey Fletcher. He's done it time and time again, not just on the board, but the ski as well. He's MVP. He's won a board title in the World Ocean Series and the ski title. I think he's just going to be good enough to be on there and a bit of the wheels across the sand and being on his own stretch of sand at Burley definitely will help. Second place, I got the silver medal Olympian from the K4, Jackson Collins. I just think he gets done by the big bad Benny Carberry. It's going to be his home beach at Burley. It's the only event he's entered in as of now. And I love the guy. I love what he does. He's just going to be too strong, I reckon. Obviously, I think a bit of home field advantage plays into that. Michael King will be in his ear about it. In the women's, Jazzy Raywood, Burley coming third. Such a strong ski paddler as well as Ironwoman. She doesn't have a weak leg, which is insane. Second place, Claudia Kelly from Northcliffe. She's so good on the craft, especially the ski. And then first place, I got Ali Bull. Now known as Ali Buck since she got married. I believe this is the first carnival we will see since potentially Perth 2020. No, maybe Maroochydore 2024 or... No, that might even be wrong. Maybe it was in 2023 was the last time we saw her when she won in Perth. I'm not actually too certain about that. But it's just been a long time since I've seen her race, so very excited to watch her, and I reckon she gets the win there. The Ironman, third place, Joel Piper, Burley Heads. It's going to be a Burley blackout, this Ironman race. He is just, end of the last season, he came into really good form. Second in the series, second or third at the Aussie Iron Final. He didn't have to do trials last week. I reckon he's fired up, ready to go. Second place, Corey Fletcher. He's going to be on the podium all day. Are we going to be surprised when he pulls a second out of his hat for the Ironman? And then first place, Ethan Callahan. He's now a pure open. He's no longer a junior. Super excited to watch him race. I just think he didn't have to do the trials. I reckon he's just primed up. I just reckon we've seen him win a World Ocean Series event. It was a 10,000 a couple of years ago. We've seen him lead open events in the professional series and World Ocean Series. I just think he gets it done, especially knowing that home beach is sand, and it's really going to be a contest of the Burley boys out in front. In the women's, not a Burley blackout. But third place, I got Dom Sitter Malulaba looking really good at the trials. Obviously getting that auto-qualifying spot from the first race on the Sunday. She'll be one to watch out for. She's coming into great form. Tiani Massey Maroochydore, she would be well rested, not having to go through the trials last weekend. She's just always ready, explosive as always, a real pocket rocket. And first place, I've already named her a few times as second in most of the events. Lily O'Sullivan gets the win here on her home stretch of sand, courtesy of Michael King. And the mixed taplin, to wrap it up, is going to be Burley Heads Mowbray Park. If they don't win it on their home stretch of sand, I will be nothing less but disappointed, unless it's to Noosa Heads. So that's my tips for the weekend. I'm going to wrap up the podcast there. I reckon I ended up doing, a 45-minute one. Geez, I'm a certified yapper. We've worked it out. That's the end of the podcast. Now, much thanks to everyone watching it. Sorry it's coming out on a Wednesday night. I wish I had it out earlier. Make sure you check out the website, see what's there. Potentially down the track, there will be blogs, like articles written up, which I'll do. Maybe we see one before. I don't know. I don't want to make promises I can't keep. Next episode will just be probably a review on everything. Please, please, please keep your ears and eyes out for the socials. There could be something happening. I want to start a special, let's say project, not a series. Let's call it a project, and let's see what comes from there. So yeah, keep your eyes out on the website and all things. Now, as always, thank you very much for being here. What's not fair? What's not sports fans and supporters? I don't know what that is. Sorry, I'm just playing around with my filming. Anyway, thank you very much, guys. I will see you in the next episode. Thank you kindly.